Hey, Aaron Adams here, Infinity Investing. Thank you for joining me. This is our YouTube series where we try to bring you 10 minutes of really valuable content, give you an idea, plant some seeds, maybe help you move things forward and think about things in a way that you haven't thought for. These are my making money in. So we have 3 in this series initially. One is 3 ways to make money in real estate. Three ways to make $1,000 in real estate in 30 days. Then we have 3 ways to make $10,000 in real estate in 90 days. And the final segment is 3 ways to make $100,000 in real estate in 365 days. And so, not the standard ideas that you may have been thinking of. There's some definitely some advanced techniques. If you haven't heard me previously, or this is the first time you've participated or watched one of my videos, my name's Aaron Adams. I'm a full-time real estate investor. I've been doing real estate for 21 years. My first deal I purchased was in 2000. It was a duplex that I bought in Southern California. Did about 40 deals in Southern California for over the next 3 years. Transitioned out of my high school teaching job and into a full-time real estate job. I got my license, my broker's license. I had a construction crew that was doing jobs. I migrated to the Midwest in late 2004. I started Alpine Property Management in January 2005. We currently have an Alpine Property Management in Indianapolis, managing 1,500 properties. We have one in Dallas, Kansas City, Charlotte, Southeast Idaho. All told, the 5 Alpine Property Managements that I've started and own are managing several thousand properties, about $250 million worth of real estate. There really isn't a real estate investing strategy that I haven't participated in or been involved in over the last 20 years. New construction development, multifamily development, commercial real estate, mobile home parks, storage units, you name it. If you can make money in real estate doing it, I've tried it. So there's a lot of knowledge behind these techniques that I'm bringing to you. And if this is the first time you've heard me speak, then hopefully you'll enjoy this today. Now, to jump right into the 3 ways to make $1,000 in real estate in the next 30 days, I have them right here for you. So let me just bring them up. Wholesaling, bird dogging, and Airbnb subletting. And I want to just take a few minutes and explain each one of those so that you have an idea. Now, if you go to infinityinvesting.com, we have full trainings that you can pay for that will break down for you how to be involved with this. We have a basic membership at Infinity Investing you can get involved with for free. And then we do monthly trainings where you can learn more about these techniques, and if it makes sense, then you can move forward on them. But if you've never heard of wholesaling or bird dogging, they're kind of the same thing, but I want to give kind of a customized bent to each one. Best way to explain wholesaling is to give you an example of a wholesaler. I have a friend of mine, his name is John. He was a bartender, and I was literally eating at the bar, and we got to know each other over my trips to the bar to eat dinner. And he said, I'm interested in real estate investing. I said, okay, well, where do you live? And he told me he lived in this neighborhood called Fountain Square in Indianapolis. And I said, John, I love properties in Fountain Square. I'd probably pay $50,000 for almost any property in Fountain Square. So John was walking around his neighborhood, a technique we call driving for dollars or walking for dollars. And he noticed a man out in front of a property. He was cutting the lawn of a boarded up property. And he said to him, why are you cutting the lawn on that property? And the guy said, I'm the landlord, but the property, I had an eviction and the place was trashed, and so I just boarded it up. John said, I know an investor that'd be interested in buying the property. And the guy said, oh yeah, for how much? Long story short, John got a verbal commitment from the guy that he would take $19,000 for the property. Now, this was a few years ago when you could still buy property for pretty cheap in Indianapolis, probably about 6 years ago. So it would have been like 2015. And the house needed a lot of work. I ended up spending about $45,000. But I said to John, I'm going to try to get, John made the introduction. I got a purchase agreement put together with that seller, a contract to buy it for $19,000. The day that I closed on it, I also gave John a check for $3,000 because, for me, $22,000 was still a great deal for that house. I probably would have paid $25,000, $27,000. Now, That was his first deal, so I was happy to tell him what I would pay. But that got John really excited, and he went out and he started finding other properties in Fountain Square. He would try to get a verbal commitment or a one-page, very simple contract with the seller, an agreement at a price. He'd try to get photos for the property, and then he would send me an email. And the email would say, hey, Aaron, here's a property, here's the address, here's the photos, here's a video, this is the work that it needs, and here's a price. And the price that he would give me would try to be what he had it under contract for plus a markup, maybe $2,000, $3,000, $5,000. Okay. Wholesaling is a fantastic strategy for making money. I buy from wholesalers every month in cities all across the US. Wholesaling is a great way to get into real estate because you don't have to buy the deals. The most money that you're risking is maybe $500 earnest money if a seller requires that for a contract. And so wholesaling is an excellent strategy. I still wholesale properties. I recently got a parcel of dirt under contract that I knew that was being sold. I wasn't interested in it, but I wholesaled that deal to another developer who I know who's really anxious to get property. And so wholesaling isn't just a beginner technique. Wholesaling is a strategy that investors like me, the hardest thing to find in real estate is deals. When you're finding a bunch of deals, then it's very easy to offload the ones that you don't want to keep and make some quick cash on them. And so we do a ton of wholesaling. We teach wholesaling. We walk you through how to find sellers, how to target them. We text. We do a lot of texting. We show you how to create those lists. It's a process called skip tracing. We show you how to do letter campaigns, postcards, driving for dollars to find sellers that, of property that are not yet marketed, off-market deals, and then to match that up with investors like me. We teach you how to find investors like me in every city in America, and this is a strategy that works in every city in America. And so wholesaling is something that you could learn in about 3 or 4 hours. Easily within 30 days, you could make your first $1,000 in real estate from wholesaling. This is a strategy that you could begin immediately. If you got an extra 20 hours over the next month, and you can't make $1,000, then walk away from real estate forever. This isn't for you. Now, bird dogging is a modification of wholesaling where you already have an investor like me in mind. And in some cases, you could say that John was a bird dogger, where you know an investor, you know what they're looking for, and then you go out and try to find a property for them that's not on the market. And I also have used bird doggers for auctions. And so I have a friend who every month he drives every property of the auction, the foreclosure auction in his town. He takes a picture, he puts some information, is it occupied or it's vacant? If it's vacant, he peeks in the windows to try to get an idea for the amount of work that it needs. And he takes that list and then he goes and he offers it to the investors at the auction for $100. A lot of times when I'm at the auction, there was a property that I didn't see, and it's definitely worth me to Venmo him $100 for his information about the property, where I can instantly say, oh no, I didn't see that property. I didn't have a chance to go check it out. And he can say, here you go. Here's the photos. Here's the information that I've gathered for you. Okay, so bird dogging, whether you're going out specifically to find deals for an investor or you're pre-driving an auction list and selling that information, is another great strategy. And to give you a little even more information, I love wholesaling and bird dogging for mobile homes. Mobile homes are red hot right now. There's a lot of investors that are looking for them, and you could easily get a mobile home deal potentially under contract from Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist that you turn around and flip to another investor. And so both of these strategies are ways that don't require a lot of money, that you can get going for less than $1,000, that can get you into the real estate game as an investor, get you learning without a ton of risk. Okay. The third area that I wanted to break down for you, the third way to make $1,000 in real estate in the next 30 days is Airbnb subletting. Now, we've all heard of Airbnbs, and if you haven't, again, this video is probably not for you. But, of course you can go out and buy a property and set it up as an Airbnb. But there's a strategy that a lot of investors are using. And let's say you're a renter right now. And let's say you were to go to your landlord and say, hey, I'm going away for the weekend. I want to put my apartment on Airbnb. Well, most of the time, most landlords are going to say, no, I'm not interested in letting you sublet. However, imagine if you were to go to your landlord and say, look, I know the rent's $1,000. What if I give you $1,500 next month in exchange for me posting the apartment on Airbnb or renting a room out? So I know people that are taking their own property, or maybe you own your own home and you can sublet a room, sublet a basement. I see those listings all the time. Or what if you were to go out and rent an apartment or rent a house specifically to be an Airbnb and negotiate a subletting clause with that landlord right from the start? So maybe they're marketing it for $2,000 a month, and you negotiate a $3,000 a month lease with them where you pay more than the market rent in exchange for them being willing to let you sublet and put it on Airbnb. So you just disclose up front to them exactly what you want to do. It's a powerful strategy. It's one that I know, especially in markets like New York City or San Francisco, where there's just not a lot of property. There's no way they could afford one. To sublet an Airbnb is a powerful strategy and something where you could, once you get it figured out, whether it's on your rental, the house that you own, or you go specifically rent a property for it, it's something to think about. And we offer a training on Airbnb where we discuss this as one of the strategies as part of our Infinity Investing trainings that we offer. So go to infinityinvesting.com if you're interested. I'm out of time. I try to keep these videos under 10 minutes, but you're going to want to join me for the next segment where I break down for you the 3 ways to make $10,000 in real estate over 90 days. And it's going to build on what I just taught you. So make sure you circle back, make sure you subscribe and like, and continue to join us.